Hey, what's going on here? The Strat Soldier bringing you the weekend shift with me, the Strat Soldier, only on Scipia Group. Thanks for being here. I can't see how many people we have in the chat right now. Hopefully, it's a ton. We were only projected to get about 20 people in here, so we got a lot more than that. I appreciate everybody being in here. It says 73. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, give me 100. Give me 100. Thank you so much for being here. I know I got a tiny little head on this screen, but that's okay because it's not about me. I'm just putting my face on here, so it's a little bit more easier to see what I'm doing and what I'm saying. You know, some people read lips and things like that. And you can see I'm actually having fun because I love talking about the strat. This stuff is fun and easy. And this is the very first show of hopefully many shows with Scipia Group. Um, and so I want to say thank you very much to Scipia Group and Rob Smith for giving me a shot to do this. And I'm super excited. You've been following me on Twitter. You've probably seen my show on Benzinga and also First Trade, also with Benzinga. And I just want to see you win. That's it. You know, I love doing this. Trading the strat is easy, and I just want to show other people how to do it and win and not get killed. All right. So we're gonna go through. What we're gonna do is go through the weekly setups stuff. If you watch the weekly the weekly video that Rob puts out on the weekends, we're gonna go through all those. It's 53 tickers in total, but you will see that not everything went in force, and you know some things did work and then failed. You know, so we're gonna go through all that stuff. And in 60 minutes, hopefully, we can get through all of it. Rob goes through that stuff in 10 minutes. What I want to do is slow it down for you. Slow it way down so it makes sense, okay? So it makes sense. Um, because I want you to be able to do this. I want you to be able to do this. Now, let's start at the beginning. What is the strat? The strat is a volume up, volume up. Can you hear me? Check, check, check. All right. Sorry about that. What is the strat? The strat is a trading system where we use three universal truths. The strat is a trading system where we use three universal truths to create winning positions, okay? And we use that using three universal truths to compare participants by price and time to put you in the most probable situation to create winning positions. Okay, that's it. And take profits. All right, so we want to create winning positions, add to them, and defend them with tight stops. Tight stops. Now you'd say, most people would say, why am I using tight stops? Every time I use tight stops in the past, I get stopped out, and then I watch my trade, go to the highs, and I missed it. That will happen. You will get stopped out. But with the strat, we are giving you a reason to believe that the price is going to move immediately. And if it doesn't, we get out immediately. We don't mess around. If it sets back up, we'll get back in. That's what we do. But most of all, we do not hold losers. Okay, we're never going to tell you get in on Microsoft with 150 shares on at this price, and let's see what it does, and wait for your capital to drop below 50% before you cut it. We do not tell you that. We say if it goes down, if it doesn't go in force anymore, if it goes below your stop, just cut it. It's a small loss. Get back in later on. We want to protect that capital, all right? All right, thank you so much for the comments there. Yeah, it's the very first show, so we're trying to get things together. Now, I'm going to have to show you just a little bit of what we're looking for, okay? That's the strat. What we're looking for is, we're going to have to go through the scenarios real quick. A lot of you guys on here already know what I'm talking about. But for the new folks, all right? Let's go to, when I trade, these are what my charts look like. I have all four time frames up. The monthly, right here. The monthly, the weekly, the daily, and the 60. All right. I know it's the 1 hour, but we call it the 60. All right. We call it the 60. I have all four charts up like this. All right. And I do that for time frame continuity. And with time frame continuity, I don't need indicators. I can see if they're buying it. They're buying it now. They bought it, you know, they've been buying it through the week and they're buying it through the month. All right. And I can see if they're buying it right now. Like I said, right now on the 16th. This is the SPY, the last hour of the day. They were selling that thing. All right. Red means sell for all the new people. Oh, for all the new people. Green means buy. Red means sell. All right. Let's go through the scenarios, the strat scenarios, the basics of the strat, so you know what I'm talking about. We call them universal truths because you can see them through anything. All right. The strat works on crypto. It works on options. It works with Forex. Anything that trades, it works. All right. That's why we call them universal truths. Universal truths. The three universal truths are actionable signals, time frame continuity, and broadening formations. All right. Now the first thing I'm going to go through is the scenarios. All right. The scenarios. They're very easy, and we believe that there's only three ways anything can trade. There are only three ways anything can trade. And here's my little helper right here. This little yellow guy. This little guy right here. Oop, nope, not you. Not you. Where are you at? There you are. This guy's going to help me out. This right here. This candle. This is a scenario one. Now, a scenario one. Let me blow this up right here. A scenario one is a bar that doesn't take out either side of the previous range, okay? This is the previous range, this candle. Notice it doesn't take out the highs. Notice it doesn't take out the lows. Scenario one, all right? This could be a monthly, weekly, daily, 60, all right? If this was a 5-minute bar, you know, and you don't want to trade anything in a scenario one because it's the price is consolidating. Okay, you hear people on Twitter, you know, saying it's a chop shop. Okay, that's it. That's what that looks like. All right, and on a smaller time frame, you would see the price reversing up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. Now, yep, up and down and up and down. We don't want to say bounce, okay, because price doesn't have mass. Okay, so it can't bounce, it can't coil. You know, when people are using oscillators and all these other things to gauge momentum and things like that with the price, price aggregates. For every buyer, you need a seller. Now, when you're trading shares, that's not so important when you're trading shares because a lot of those transactions are fast. You know, as soon as you click sell, someone already picked it up, so it's real quick. But when you're trading options, that's when you really see the aggregation. You can put a sell at, your option may be up and you want to sell that sucker and you put a price limit at that price. But if no one's buying it right there, you will know exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about price aggregation. All right. There's a question here in the chat room. Please, put your questions in there. A scenario one, when something's stuck, the question is a scenario one the same as being stuck in a mother bar? Not necessarily. You just need to know that the price is consolidating. Okay, I'll show you something stuck in the mother bar. Something stuck in the mother bar is where you have one candle stuck in this previous range, and then you'll have a bunch of them. Okay, I always say, you got the mother bar, and then you got all its little babies, just like, all stuck in, trading sideways, all stuck in this range, and we'll see that when we go through the tickers. All right. So yeah, you'll hear us again, and someone else said in the chat that this is also inside bar. We will say that a lot, inside bar. When you're in the room with Rob, he'll say, inside to the ups, inside up, inside to the highs, inside to the lows. Real quick. All right, scenario two. Scenario two is when one side of the previous range is taken out. This is a scenario two right here, this candle. All right, notice it takes out one side of the previous range right here. Right here. Now, regardless of color, if it takes out the top, it's a scenario two. This thing could be red, and it would still be a scenario two. I need you to remember that. And then a series of twos, two, that would be considered a trend. Okay, that's a trend. A scenario two to the downside is this bar right here. Scenario 2 to the downside. Here's the previous range. All right. Here's the previous range. And then here it is taking out the bottom of that previous range. Scenario 2 to the downside. All right. And then scenario 3. Here's a scenario 3 right here. This is SPY on the monthly if you're following me on TradingView or whatever you use your charting program, your software. This is scenario 3 on the monthly. This is February 2020 when we got the news about the COVID and all that stuff, the pandemic. We'll say it like that, because we were 2 up on February, and then we got the news and it failed, and it took out the lows right here at 320.41. That's what I got on my side, and bam, all the way down. That was a rough month. Depending on what you were trying to do, that was a rough month. Nobody knew what to do. Of course, puts and things like that to the downside, but that's a scenario 3. This scenario 3 is the most important candle out of everything we do, right? Why? Because it's the basis of everything we do, all right? Because this on a smaller time frame is a broadening formation. And I can show you that in just a couple clicks. I'm going to go to the yearly charts, all right? Yearly charts, what are those? Big boy charts, that's what they are. All right, where's my candle? Where are you at? Where's my little arrow? He's gone. Where are you at? I gotta pull him out of there. Let me pull him out of here. He's my buddy. He's helping me out. I'm gonna pull him up here. Let's go over. All right, here's 2021, I'm sorry. This is 2021 on the SPY right here. All right. This is 2020. All right. What is that? Anybody in the chat, what is this? What is that? I'll give you a shot. Remember, we're just slowing this down for everybody. Anybody in the chat, what is that? There you go. It's a scenario 3. It is a scenario 3 because it took out both sides of the previous range right here, right? Okay. And it went down and came back up. So now you got a 3-2 reversal on the yearly. Okay. There was a lot of people out there, at the end of 2020, the SPY can't go any higher. There's no way. You need your extended fibs to see where it's going to go and blah, blah, blah. All you needed to know is if that hammer went in force above 378, I got 378.48. It's going 2 up on the year, 3-2 to the upside. That's right. They are buying it. It is green. But the reason why I want to show you this is because it proves my point immediately and exactly perfectly. Here's a scenario 3. All I got to do is click the monthly on a smaller time frame. That scenario 3 is a broadening formation. Okay? Higher highs and lower lows. Now, real quick, I don't want to jump too far, give you guys too much for the new people, but what's a broadening for? You don't need to put the lines on the chart, but I like to do it, okay? If you're in TradingView, you would use an extended line. That's what I like to use. It's the easiest. You draw it backwards from the recent highs and recent lows. Right there. All right, and from the recent highs to the recent lows. There you go. There's your broadening formation. All right. Now, price work. The reason why this is important is because price works in a series of broadening formations. Okay. That's what, higher highs, lower lows, higher highs and lower lows. The reason why the traditional support and resistance necessarily doesn't work is because if I just would have put necessarily doesn't work is because it doesn't give time. It doesn't take into account time. Okay. I'm sorry. It doesn't take into account time. Broadening formations do. All right. So what we want to do instead of looking for breakout trades, because we're not breakout traders, instead of looking for breakout trades, we're waiting for it to break resistance and then go up to the upside and then see if we can catch it. We don't want to do that. What we want to do is find us a reversal, like for example here, 2 down, inside bar, 2 up. This is a 2-1-2 reversal, and we want to get in on that 2-1-2 reversal on this live bar right here, the next live bar, as soon as it opens at 295.66, that's when we want to get in. Okay, now we don't wait till it closes and then wait for the next bar to confirmation. And I've heard other people say other things. We want to get in on the next live bar right there. All right, and we set our stops just in case something happens, because anything can happen. Anything can happen. Now we remember what the strat mic check, mic check. Remember what the strat we are. Remember what the strat we are trying to put ourselves in the most probable situation possible to create a winning position. Okay, so we set our stops. We set them tight because anything can happen. All right, so we get in on this bar, next live bar, set our stops. If we don't get stopped out, then we can start moving our stops up, and or you can just keep them even and see, if you would have kept it even, if you just would have bought, I don't know, if you would have bought shares at SPY at, it was at 295 and just held it and kept your stops even, that's some pretty good money right there. That's some pretty good money. All right. Of course, you'd be trading shares doing that, because if you would have done that with options, you'd be getting, theta would have killed you. All right, so has everybody got a good understanding of the scenarios? Anybody got any questions in the chat about the scenarios? All right. Cool. Yeah, sorry about the volume here. We'll figure that volume thing out. I got the mic pretty much on my face here. Oh, all right, here we go. All right. Yep. Could you define enforce? Yep. I'll define you enforce. So 2-1-2 reversal to the upside. When I say enforce, okay, that means it is. Let me find my horizontal array right here. Again, we're directing. Most of this is directed to people that's never traded before or brand new to this stuff. So I'm going to talk it all through. If this is the scenario that I'm looking for, okay, or the reversal I'm looking for a 2-1-2 reversal, okay. Now, if I'm looking for that, I'm looking for 290. That's a little low. Let me see here, 295 and some change, okay. Let's just say 295 because it's easier for the conversation. If it trades above 295, I'm going to hit it immediately. That's because it's in force. That's what we say, in force, okay? That's when we want to hit it. And it's on the next live bar. So what I do, you can use hotkey for trading shares. Again, that's another thing too. I want you guys to remember, I'm talking about trading shares, but you can also do this with options as well. And what I do is you can use hotkeys to just hit it right at 295. Or what I like to do is use stop market buy orders and just set it. Set my shares, define my risk, and let's say I want my stop to be 50% of the previous candle, because I don't want to put it way down here. That's too much risk. I don't want to put it at 243. That's a lot of money to lose. Okay, especially if I'm a small account person. I don't want to lose money. If you saw my Benzinga webinar, I am a tank. All right, I want to stay in my winning positions as long as possible, and I don't want to lose a lot of money. If I do, then I can't keep fighting the fight. Or I can't. All right, I'm losing money. So we'll never tell you to put your candles way down here. All right, we don't tell you to account for wiggle room and things like that. We don't do that. Once the trade goes in force, we will push our stops closer or even, okay? And if you get stopped out, some change. If it gets sets back up, get back in. What I like to do also is push my stops above. That way, if I do get stopped out, I get stopped out with profit, and I at least take something. Okay, does that make sense? All right, but for the initial and for the beginners, the initial thing I want you to do is define your risk. All right. You've already defined your edge by figuring out what reversal you want to get in on. You know what price it goes in force at, and you know what you're looking for. Now you define your risk. Are you okay with with these numbers here? You know what I mean? Am I okay with losing that much? You know what I mean? No, I'm not okay with that. Okay, so you push your stops up. Okay, you okay with losing $4, $5? Okay, I can stomach that. All right, set your stops. You know, um, honestly, that if you got to take responsibility for your trades. Okay, you have to take responsibility for your trades. You you will get so much better at this when you do that. It's a true. Yeah, it's true. You will take so you because you'll start to you won't hesitate because you're taking responsibility. You define your edge. You define your risk. You're taking responsibility for what you're about to do. You hit it on the next live bar right there. All right, and if you get stopped out, ain't no problem. We live to fight another day. All right, so there's a lot of in the strat. It's a lot about confidence. Okay, and it's built into the trading system. Okay, there's a lot of trading psychology out there. Get in, learn that stuff, learn it, but it's already built into the strat. All right, if this goes in force, I am hitting this thing because I know the buyers are more aggressive on this than the sellers. If something happens and this fails, I know for a fact that this candle went below my entry and it hit my stop and I'm out. Okay, I don't want to go too much on a tangent, but let's look at ZM real fast. I want to talk about ZM on the daily. Okay. Yeah, daily. Let's go back to the daily. I know my chart is a little off here. All right. About to say, okay, here was the earnings on August 30th. Okay, the earnings are on August 30th. 2-2 reversal to the upside on the daily. All right, that made some pretty good money into the earnings. All right, but we always cut it before the earnings report comes out because it's like gambling. You don't know what's going to happen, right? For example, the earnings were good. Let's look at this thing. The earnings were good. All right, things were great. But then what happened? It opened up at two. It opened up at was it $2.95? $2.95, $54 below the closing price from yesterday. That's insane. If you were holding shares on that would have been that you couldn't have stomached that. That would have hurt bad. And if you were trading options on that would have been worse. Okay, so with the strat, we're not waiting for this to come back. Okay, hopefully you would have had your stops here. I'd say 339. That's what I got. And it would have opened up. You would have got stopped out of the bell for a loss. But hey, you know what? At least you're not waiting for it to come back, and you're out of that thing. Okay, and that's a tough trade. That stinks right there. But the strat is going to tell you when to get in and when to get out, and you have complete confidence that you are out. Okay, so all right. So let's get to the weekly setups. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question on what is in force? All right, let's go to the weekly charts. The weekly setups. Thank you so much. Yep, there's a 15-second delay on this, so I apologize. Now, the weekly setups. If you watch Rob's weekly show on the on YouTube, it's on YouTube now. All the videos are for free. He went through 54 tickers. Oh my gosh, 54. And that's a lot of tickers to go through in a small amount of time. And so we're going to slow it down. We're going to see what worked, what didn't work. One thing he talked about was Apple. The very first thing he talked about was Apple. We were looking for the 3-1-2 reversal on Apple to the upside right at 150.84. Can you see that? 150.84. That's what I want to get in at. Now this red line right here, 148, that's just an arbitrary stop where personally I would have a stop if I was trading shares. Okay? And that's where I would be at. One question is, there's a lot of questions in here. A lot of questions. All right, so let's see if we can get to those. Disney went in force. That one worked. That trade did work. Let's go to the When did it go? When did it go in force? Okay. Why were we looking at this? We were looking at this because of the 2 continuation on the monthlies. Okay. We're looking for them to keep buying this on the monthlies. Here's my time frame continuity. All right. Get over there. Here's my time frame continuity. Here's all my bars on the 60. When did this go in force? It went in force. Where are you at? Sorry about that. Got to zoom in a little bit. Okay, here's my 60 bar. We've seen this pattern over and over and over on in August and September, so it's been hard to trade anything and keep it for a long time. This one worked really well. We've seen this a lot, haven't we? We've seen this, the 60-minute bar just shoot up and then go, 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 and the next day they dump it. Go, 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 go. You know, then it stalls out the rest of the day. The next day, go, 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 and then it stalls out and they dump it again, you know. So, you know, depending on where you set your stops and where you moved them up, that's where this sucker went in force on August 30th. All right, right there. Boom. To the upside. Now, the time frames are a little bit weird because September started on Thursday, but you could have held it. You could still be, and you could probably possibly still be in this if you're swing trading this, okay? Because there's no reversals against you right here on the daily. Let's blow that daily chart up. All right, let's say there's really no reversals against you. You could still be in that, all right, if you're holding. But on the 60s, if that thing went in force on the weekly, look at that. You do not get stopped out. If I would have grabbed my stop, okay, let's just say you know, it went in force. Awesome, I'm feeling great. I grabbed my stop. I put it even like that. No, I'm not getting stopped out of this. Everybody else is panicking. What are we gonna do next? What's the next trade? Not me, okay? Or let's just say another thing. Let's just say it is a swing trade and you take it right here. The very next day opens up as a 2-2 reversal to the downside, okay? We got a lot of tickers to go through, but I want to show you Apple 2-2. See that scenario 2 up, scenario 2 down, okay? That red line, you take your profits. That red line, you take your profits. That's because trading's been crazy. It's been hard for the last 2 months. What if this, you have to think to yourself, if this thing goes 2 down, am I going to stomach that and hold it? And, you know what I mean? It can just die the rest of the day for the next, week or so, So it's okay to take that. It is 100% okay to take that. Or even here, you hold through all that, you stomach that because it didn't go below your initial entry, it's still a win, okay? And then you take this one. You could have took this one too. 2-2 reversal to the downside. All right. Take your profits, and if you're good at trading, you could have bought puts right at and buy the at the money puts at 154 strike price, and made money all day on that on both sides. Okay. So it depends on what you want to do. Once you learn the strat and you learn it effectively and learn how to effectively execute it, you can do this any way you want. Okay. Any way you want. But the biggest thing I want you to know is we are not holding losers. We are not holding losers. All right, here we go. What's that say? MM don't want new traders making money. Very sad. Strat solves the problem. Strat solves the problem, though. That's right. We solved that problem. We want you to know what buys and sells look like. When you're in the room with Rob, if you are brand new to the room with Rob, he's going to go through a lot of tickers, and the biggest reason to be on there with Rob is, he will tell you what's going in force and what's going to the downside, what's going to the upside, and what's a ticker that's working right now. That's just run sheep run, making money right now. But what you can do, and the biggest reason why you want to be on there is you can ask him what live. Okay, you can ask him questions live. Hey, I'm Rob. I'm in Apple. Okay, I'm an Apple. I held through all this stuff here. When do I want to get out of this? What's my level of defense? What do I know to be true about Disney? Okay, when do I want to get out? And he will tell you. All right, he'll pull up the charts. He'll stop everything he's doing, pull up the charts, and tell you. That's the biggest reason why you want to be in there. He worked on the Chicago Stock Exchange on the floor in the pit. for like 30 years. Okay, he's a real dude. All right, I'm just trying to help you get there. I'm just trying to get you to help you understand what is going on, and try to help you learn the strat as well. And that's what he wants you to do, is learn this stuff. Okay, all right. And let me see. Let's see if I can move this microphone here a little bit. I'm gonna have to hold it, and that's okay. All right, let's get through some more of these tickers. We got a lot to do. Let's go back to the weekly. So Apple did work. All right, AMC. That was another ticker he went through. No trade. No trade. Why was this a no trade? Because we were looking for the 2-2 continuation on AMC, where we would look for another reason to get in there. It did not go. Okay, this is a no trade. If it doesn't go in force, again, and someone asks, how do we know? What's the difference and why we call it in force? Is because if it does get over here, line. Let me do that. Let's just delete both of them. There we go. Let's make it green. If it does not go in force above where we want to get in at, we do not take it. We leave it alone, okay? We leave it alone. No trade. No trade on AMC. No trade. Amazon, we were looking for a 2-2 continuation on this. You would have to look for a, right here, that would have went in force at 3351. All right. You would have had to drop down to, let's flip this back to the 60s. That did go in force. You would have to look for a reversal on that, because we want to trade reversals, okay? So we're not chasing, okay? People talk about FOMO. The easiest way to not deal with FOMO or not get caught up in FOMO is to trade reversals, okay? Trade reversals. You would have had to drop down to a smaller time frame, like a 60, okay? Or a 30. Let's see if there's a reason. No, 30, it went fast. It just went. Or a 15. Let's see here. What's a good way to get in here? This guy right here. Maybe this. There's your reversal. You can get in on. Right here. Oops. All right. Now, I'm not trading Amazon. That's a lot of money. But how do I get in on this, okay? How do I get in on this? All right. Now, if you're swing trading, this works a lot better for you. If you're trading options, you want to make, you still want to trade reversals, okay? You still want to trade reversals. There's a lot of big questions here in the chat. If you can make the questions shorter, one line questions, I can probably get to them easier. Yep, there are nuances to the strat, but the best thing about the strat, it's all quantitative. Okay, it's all quantitative. If you get in on a signal and it goes in force and then it fails and you get stopped out, you can always go back to your charts and go and ask yourself, okay, what happened? What happened? And it's quantitative, so you can, maybe I didn't have my RSI set right, or maybe I didn't have the oscillators, correctly set, or maybe I need another SMA because I need this. I need the SMA 8, and I need another line that goes with this. I need another one that tells me go right here. You don't need all that, okay? Because now you're blaming. Remember, I said take responsibility for your trades, so you don't want to blame, the indicators, okay? I want you to know what a buy or a sell looks like. I want you to be able to go, okay, I got in on this. It worked, okay? It worked all the way up here, and I took my profits right there because there was a 2-1-2 reversal to the downside. I just took it. Did it keep going? Yes. But I know I took my profits and I can walk away. Okay, we always pay ourselves when the market makes it available. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. I will ramble. Don't let me ramble. Let's get back to the weekly charts. We got a lot to go through. BAC. No trade. No trade. All right, inside week on that. We were looking for 2-2 continuation on that, and there's no trade on Bank of America. All right, Citigroup, no trade. That's a big deal. You have to, you want to be able to know, okay, this is a no trade deal. All right. I'm not getting in unless. Because it's supposed to go, I wanted to go in force at 73.91. Did not hit that. Not getting in. Not getting in. Not doing it. All right, Cat. Did Cat go in force? No trade on Cat either. No way. I'm not touching it. Here's my level. If it's going to go to the upside at 215, I'm getting in. If to the downside, we always trade what is happening right now. To the downside was 205. Did it do that? No. No. Costco did go in force. Okay, and it's golly. What have I been doing? I could have traded Costco. I could have got in on that. We go to Costco all the time. They got all my money. Costco, but I could have got in on this on a monthly 2-2 reversal on the monthly at 387, or excuse me, 386. But anyway, right here on the weekly charts, we were looking for a 2-1-2 continuation right there to go in for us at 495. Okay, 495. That did work. All right, that one did good. Now it did take a hit. The magnitude is right here, only 460. It did hit that, and it went a little further. So I mean, you could still be in that if you want. It's still good. Still good. Coop. Oh my goodness, Coop was amazing. I did not get in on Coop. Rob was yelling Coop all day Friday. I did not get in. I worked something else. And I was kicking myself for that. My goodness. Where's my 60s at? Give me my 60s. All right. Here's Coop yesterday. All right. Here's your reversal. 2. Oop. How could I got it? You could have got in on Coop on this big giant bar right here. All right. Coop was a good one. Coop was a real good one. Weekly continuation. And the reason why we're looking at that is because we're looking for the 2-2 reversal on the monthly, okay? And the magnitude on that is 282. 282. Now, looking at time frame continuity on this thing, they're buying it on the month, they're buying it on the week, they're buying it on the day, and then when the 60s are green, that's when they're buying it, okay? I don't need no indicators to tell me when they're getting in, all right? Let's see here. You look at the previous day hour for a quick entry to catch the big move. You can, but you don't want to get in early. Okay, you don't want to get in early. Don't be that guy, because all you're doing is being the first loser. Okay, you don't want to do that. I was just trying to find you a reversal to get in on that. You could have got in on this 2-2-1-2 reversal on Coop. These are the 60s. If you would have got in on that right there and just took that reversal, you'd have been kind of doubting, like, I don't know. I might have to cut that. I might have to cut this in the morning, but didn't have to. Okay, you got a pretty good explosive move the next day, so that's awesome. That's awesome. It says a lot of my trades stop out, but the point is keep your stops tight. Keep your stops tight. That's right. What if this thing, let's just say this. Let's just say I'm going to hold it. I'm a swing trader, okay? Keep your stops tight. I would have moved my stop right there. And I'd have been, oh, nope, give me that. Get out of there. Keep your stops tight. Because if it goes to the downside and you're stuck. You're stuck. You don't want to hold losers, okay? This is an awesome trade right here. That's awesome. Let's get through these things. Weekly. What's another one? CTSH. No trade. We were looking for the downside on this. The 2-2 reversal to the downside. It did go in force just a little bit, but honestly, this was a no trade for me. CVX. No trade. Looking for it to go to the upside. Looking for the 2-1-2 reversal to the upside right at $99. No trade. Disney. All right, Disney did work. Disney went in force right at 180. All right. And the magnitude was to hit this guy up here, 187. It did go in force. What did happen is the question. Got a lot of tickers to go through, so I'm going to Start getting through these. All right, it did go in force right here on the daily. And just like we've seen a lot, it went in force. They pumped it up, and then they sold it. I mean, it was a good 2-day swing trade, maybe even 3-day right here, you know. But then, you know, here's your scenario 3 I was talking about. There it is. There's your scenario 3 to the downside. All right. You're gonna hold through all that way down here. You know what I mean? You would have went past your entry, and you'd be holding the loser right now, hoping and praying that it's, you know, it did come back up like $1 above your entry, but still, that's bad news. Okay, all right, all right. 3-2 to the downside. It is forming a hammer on the daily, so we'll see what happens on Tuesday because it's a weekend. All right, it's a weekend. All right, let's get back to it. Time frame continuity on this. It's really tough. I don't know if I would have got in on this at all because it's red on the month, green on the week, and then you got these 2 red days, and then they're buying it a little bit on these 60s. I mean, that wouldn't have messed with this one at all on Disney, honestly. But you could have made money on the downside. You know, you could have did that. That's up to you. That is up to you on how you're going to execute it. But with time frame continuity, just based on that, lots of conflict. All right, DBZ, Domino's Pizza. Did it work? Yes, it did. It went in force right there at 516. Now it came in, depending on where your stop's at. This is an arbitrary stop at 508. And because you got stopped out on that, not sure. Not sure. Is the strat good for options trading or shares? I'm talking about shares right now, but there are a lot of good options traders out there. All right, a lot of good options traders out there. This one, honestly, if it went past my entry, I would have cut that sucker. I would have cut it because it's no longer a winning position. It is no longer a winning position. EXAS on the weekly did go in force right here. 105. Make that green. There you go. It did go in force. Okay, now 2-2 continuation. So what are you doing? You're looking for a reversal to get in on. There's your 2-2 reversal on the daily. Right there. Right there. Now, hammer in force. You know I love that hammer in force. All right, right there at 104. 104. I am in. That's a nice 2-day trade right there. Oh yeah. And then once it starts crapping out here right here on the 60s, just take it. 2-2 reversal to the downside right there on the 60s. I got in here. It's doing great. I didn't get stopped out. This ugly guy right here didn't get stopped out all the way up here. 2-2 reversal on the 60 the next day. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and cut it. It's the holiday weekend. People are leaving, you know, the trading floor to go do other things, be with their families. People are cutting positions. I'm out. Okay? EXAS. Let's go back to the weeklies. What else worked? What else went in force? Facebook went in force just for a little bit. Oh, get off of there. Come on, Trading View. All these little guys. Went in force right at 373. Okay, 373. Went in force. Now, it did fail, and now it's forming a shooter. All right, now it's forming a shooter. What do you want to do with that? That's, you know, I'm honestly, if it gets down here at 370, it goes definitely below my entry. I'm cutting that thing. But for next week, we're looking for that thing. It could possibly go to the downside, all right? Fedex, we were looking at Fedex on the weekly chart. On the weekly vid, we were looking for Fedex. This thing went to the downside. A lot of people were looking for this to go up right at 271 right here. What actually happened, okay? It went to the downside. So I'm putting 2 green bars here. Why? Because if it was going to go in force, to the upside green, I would have got in at 271. If I'm getting puts and I'm going to work puts, it's going to be at 266. Is that right? 266, about that area. All right, now you're working puts. It did work for a little bit, but then came back in. Just take your profits and leave, okay? Let's see here. Another question. I'm confused because once the candle is closed, another reversal can happen, right? Yes, another reversal can happen. Just take it, man. I tell you what. This went the target for this reversal, 3, 1, 2 continuation to the downside. The target was only here. Okay, the target was this, 263. Let's make it yellow. That's my target, and it did hit the target. If you follow Sarah, the Strat Sniper, she says it all the time. Just take your magnitude, especially if you're working options. Okay, just take the magnitude because things have been moving around a lot and it's been hard. So if it hits the target, just take it and walk. That way you don't have to deal with this thing coming back up and now you're losing money. Okay, or potentially losing money, or it goes back even. You didn't make anything. All right, all right. The strat seems to put everything into context. That's right. When everybody is scrambling, what's happening. We're looking at Twitter and news feeds and headlines and all these things and Ford. They're going to recall 1,000 cars because of the seat belts. What's the actual price doing? What's the price action? What's it really doing? Okay, that's what we want to see. So Fedex, it worked to the downside. Falsy. FSLY did go in force if you're looking for a 2-2 continuation on Falsy. But again, we are looking for you'd have to drop down and look for a reversal back into that. And you could have got that on the dailies. Right there. Hold on. 2-2-2-2-1-2. No, that's not a good one. 60s. Some of these are hard. You're not going to get all of them. This is 2-2 reversal on the 60s, okay? Right there. 2 down, 2 up. You guys see that? 2 down, 2 up. Scenario 2 down, scenario 2 up, okay? All right. And if you would have kept your stops even, you would still be in this thing. But if you would have took your profits right here, 47, just take it and walk. Just take it and leave. Let's go back to the weeklies. Weeklies. All right, Fubu. Fubu also went in force right at 238. Right at 238. 2, 1, 2 reversal to the upside. Now the magnitude was at $33. Didn't hit it, but that's okay. You could still be in this thing, or because it came in a little bit, just take your profits. All right, take your profits. Nope, there are no stupid questions. That's why I'm here, because I have the patience. You ask me a question, I'm going to answer it, okay? All right, here we got a 2-1-2 reversal to the upside on GDX gold. We were looking at gold. 2-1-2 reversal to the upside. It did. Here's these two targets here. It took out the magnitude at 3308. You could have took that or still be holding, because here's the bigger target, 35. GDX, GameStop, the apes. Oh my gosh, it did go in force at 226, and you know what? It failed. I would have cut that thing, especially the way the GameStop has been trading. I would have went in force, made a little bit of change, and just cut it, because now it's forming a shooter on the weekly, and that's an actual downside. Okay, Google. Who's got the money to trade Google? Not me. All right. Here's a good 2-2 reversal to the upside on the weekly, but then we were looking for the 2-2 continuation on Google. It did go in force, but came back in. All right, can you explain triangle layout in Git? All right, Git is a word in the Midwest that we use. It's a word in the Midwest. You don't hear it a lot. When you're in the kitchen and you're messing around and your mom's trying to make breakfast or dinner and she's just like, get on out of here, get out of the kitchen, get. That's what we use. You might not hear that in New York and you might not hear that in California, but that is get. If I get in on a reversal, oh man, what's a good one? Anyway, if I get in on a reversal, let's just say this 2-2 reversal right here, and it's just this another fun word that we use when we're trading. We yell get, because it's just fun. Yell at the charts. It works. Get up there. Give me $20. I got in at 18. Let's see here. This went in force at 1982. That was a good year. All the way up to 2077. Get get up there. You know, it's just something to yell at your charts. Um, it's a, you know, trading the strat is exciting. All right, and it's fun. Halliburton did go in force. Looking for the 2-2 continuation on Halliburton. It did go up in force and then failed. I would have stopped out of that. I would have cut that. Even though it's a small stop out for a few cents, I still would have cut it. IBM, IBM, it did go in force but failed. Okay, looking for the 3-1-2 reversal to the upside. It did go in force right at 140.78 and just crapped out. Cut it. Move on. JP Morgan, looking for it to go 2-1. Looking for a 2-2 continuation on this. Okay, if you would have got in here, looking for the 2-2 continuation on JP Morgan, didn't do it. This is a no trade for me if I was trying to get in on that. All right, Marna's been doing great, but outside week on Marna. Okay, excuse me. Yes, outside week on Marna. Now this is going to be a good one because we're looking for the 3-2 reversal on the upside to the upside on Marna for next week. And the target for that is 497. Let's see if it's in Rob's Strat Time Report. It did it. Okay. Microsoft did not go in force. This is a no trade. No trade. This is scenario one. Remember I talked about scenario ones in the beginning? No trade. Move on to something else. All right. Got a lot to go through. Netflix did go in force for the 2-2 continuation on at 564. So you drop down to the daily or 60. Look for a reversal to get in on that. Nvidia did go in force, but kind of crapped out. I don't know. If you would have got in on this 3-2 reversal right here, right at 208, and looking for the 2-2 continuation on that, you'd still be in this, and that's a good one. Okay. OIH. We were looking at OIH. It did go in force, but crapped out. Stopped out on OIH with the oil and the crude. PDX, or PXD, I'm sorry, PXD, the refiners, it went in force for a hair and then just died. Stopped out. Move on. Triangle layout. Sorry about that. Triangle layout. Triangle layout is, here's a good example. You get in on this reversal here right at 145. And you get triangled out right here. All right, you get in. Sorry about this, I forgot that question. You get in here. The trade's working well. The very next bar takes you out. These two bars here take you out. Okay, you get triangled out. What's another? We'll see some better examples of triangle layout here in a little bit. But this one did work. It did work. You would have had to take your money quick and get out of that. Qualcomm. Sale was another one we're looking at. It did go in force, but came back in. I would have stopped out of that and moved on. Slob. That's not these oils with XOE, but they love pumping them and then dumping them. I tell you what, Slob that would have been a tough one for me. It would have went in force and then I would have got stopped out for a few cents. Now at 28.09, just get out. The flip. Can you explain the flip? The flip happens at the bottom of the hour. Okay. There used to be these things called clocks, analog clocks, where there's a minute hand, an hour hand, and it goes around. And the bottom of the hour is 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30. All right. They turn the machines on and off, and they change the pits out at the bottom of the hour. That's the bottom of the hour. Spotify. I've been working Spotify. This was a good one for me. This necessarily wasn't in the Strat Time Report, the weekend vid with Rob, but I wanted to talk about it because that was a good one. That was a good one for me. Spotify. I only got a few minutes left, so I'm trying to get through these things. Target 2-1-2 revert, continuation to the downside, went in force, took the magnitude. If you would have got puts right at the money right at 247. Take the magnitude at 244. That's a good trade right there. Tesla's been messing with us. Yeah, this looks beautiful right here. And don't be kicking yourself because you did not get in on Tesla because it's been a chop shop. It's been messy. Okay. They bought it up here, but look at the 60. Look at the 60s. I want to show you something because you're like, yeah, that looks great. I would have got, I could have made all this money. But look at this. Look at 312 reversal to the upside. It got to it got to 740. They started taking their profits, and then right at 738, the sellers stepped in for us and said, "We got this," and they took it to the downside all day long. Now, if you're one of these special people that took the 212 reversal to the upside right at the end of the day at 729, this is important for you because I want you to know. Everybody says the first 2 hours are where you need to be in at. No, this anything can happen throughout the day. All right, and that's another good reason to be in there in the live chat with Rob, because some people are, you might not see all this, and maybe you might not have the ability to look at your charts all day long. But if Rob is telling you, what is going on, he will, what's going on in force right now. They're buying Tesla. They're buying it now. 312 reversal to the upside. All right. UAL with planes. No trade on this. Looking for the 2-2 continuation on this. No trade on the airlines. UPS went in force right at 195. It didn't hit magnitude, but that's still a good trade. You could still be in that. VRTX. This is a no trade for me. Wells Fargo. Now we were looking for it to go to the upside. 212 reversal to the upside right at 49.90 up to 51.38. Didn't do it. We trade what's happening right now, and it went 212 reversal to the downside right at $47.39. All right, and blew through all this, right? If you would have bought puts on that, you'd be making some good money. Walmart, Wally World, that's what we call it in Indiana. No trade on Wally World. Win Resorts. Did it go in force? Maybe by like a penny, but I wouldn't have touched that thing. And the very last one for today, XOM. Again, the oils. They went in force for like 40, I don't know, what is that, 20 cents? And then got stopped out. Just cut it. All right. Now at the end there, I had to chop it down really quick. But hopefully in the future, and hopefully what you're seeing is we went through 43 tickers in just a small amount of time, and not everything's going to go in force. Okay. Not everything's going to go in force, and so you don't have to worry about missing anything. Okay. You don't have to worry about missing nothing, because there's another bus. Okay. And we want you to know what buys and sells look like. That's it. And we don't want you to get killed. We do want you to get killed. Now, hopefully I can be here next Saturday and bring you the strat, and hopefully the feed will be better, and the volume and all that stuff. Hey, if you are in the trading room with Rob, or you're interested in the trading room with Rob, they did set me up with a coupon code with the Strat Soldier. Type in the Strat Soldier when you subscribe, and you will get 2 weeks free, and then a whole month. Okay, that's for the month. If you get in there with Rob for 1 month and let him tell you what buys and sells are, you let him, hey Rob, I want to get in on Roku. How do I do this? That's the power of being on there with Rob live, because he will stop what he's doing, pull up the charts, and tell you what's going on. He either say this is working or this ain't gonna work. Okay, that's the power of being in there with Rob. The Strat Soldier, just Strat Soldier. That'll get you in there. And then if you're like me and you want to go all in, that's what I do. I go all in on things that I'm interested in. Okay, and the coupon code for that is Strat Soldier 12, and that will give you $600 off on the annual subscription, and that'll also give you Rob's course for free. And then hopefully we'll bring you the Strat Soldier basic training stuff here pretty soon. I got to talk to Rob about that one, and also Sapir Group, because I want to show you guys how to do this. Yeah, I'm good at training. I'm good at showing you guys the strat. There any last minute questions on the strat shift today? Anything? Last question. Give me one more. Who's going to be the last one? That's right. For the monthly discount, the Strat Soldier 2 weeks free trial. Repeat the codes. All right, repeat the codes for the monthly. With Rob, it's just Strat Soldier, no spaces, Strat Soldier, okay? And then for the annual, it's Strat Soldier 12. Strat Soldier 12. All right. And I'll be out there in Mid-Scipia group as well when I can. You guys know what I do, okay? And you know where I work and you know what I do. And so I'm not in there every day, but I'm in there with Rob. And that's the best thing about being. A lot of us started trading during COVID when we were all at home in lockdown, right? A lot of us got really good at it. But just because you can't see Rob all day long doesn't mean there's no use for it, okay? The Strat Time Report is live at 12:30 every day. You go on your lunch break, pull up Rob. Okay, here's the tickers that are working, all right? I know for a fact I can set a couple buys or sells on my lunch break because I got, I'm watching the show. I set my stuff. All right, walk. You know what I mean? Go back to work. Do what you're supposed to do. Be good citizens. Yep, 12:30 Eastern. That's 11:30. That's Chicago time. 11:30. But it is live, so there's a good, there's a good reason to be in there. Even at opening, you know what I mean? Right at 9:30, the opening with Rob is also good because you can see, okay, Spy's going to be inside. We're not going to do much today, so you're not going to get chopped up. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. This was awesome. This was so much fun. It was. We did go through a lot. We're going to keep slowing it down and getting more people trading the Strat and getting people in there with Rob and making some money. Making you some money. Making you some money. This is the Strat Soldier. Anything? I'm sorry. I'm looking at the chat. Thank you so much. I'm overtime. This is 3 minutes over. Thank you so much. This is the Strat Soldier with the weekend shift. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next week.